Visual Studio Code. Okay, cool. We're live. So yeah, today's goal is really just to kind of learn what Tailwind CSS is. Just for introductions, I'm Shreya and I'm the Director of Operations, and I work very closely with the marketing department at Bit Project. Alan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Alan. I'm a designer for Bit Project, and I'm on the marketing team right now.
Yeah, and Alan is one of our newest designers, and you're going to be working on a lot of our UI UX stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So what we're doing today, basically, in Daniel's last week's live streams, we started building the camp.dev website, and today we're going to have Alan kind of go through the code, catch up to everything that's happened, maybe build in a few more components, and that way next week when she starts her first project, which is going to be building on that same website, you're kind of going to be a little bit more up to date. So do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, it's actually not, Chrome isn't letting me share my screen for some reason. It's saying I have to restart it.
That's okay. I'll be here.
Okay.
No worries. Yeah, I'll just give a little bit more backdrop, but in the meantime. But right now, our current website, the Bit Project one, is made using Webflow. And in the future, we want to kind of go more into the code and be more technical about it. So we're going to start using Tailwind CSS, which has actually been really cool to learn as well. And for Alan, you have less experience in coding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're a really good designer. And we did a lot of like mock-ups of like what we could do to improve the website and all those things. But right now we're just kind of trying to build that learning curve to how to use like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript today. Oh, cool. It's here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need to start with downloading Visual Studio Code, which you're gonna be using to actually develop the project. So let's start there.
Okay, just from Chrome.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you might need to download a couple of packages, but we'll do that after you have Visual Studio Code running. Yep, you can just go into the first one. Sweet.
Okay. Sorry, also my computer gets really laggy when I'm
don't worry
with video calls. And
it happens. So what's your story, Alan? What got you into design?
I actually came into UC Davis as a environmental, like sustainable design major, and I ended up like switching to general design because like my idea of sustainable design wasn't really what the major was. It was more like landscape architecture.
Wait, could you just click the download button at the top? Oh, you did. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think it should be. Let me see. But yeah, I just found more interest into like general design, and then I got into like UI UX through a different organization at Davis called Design Interactive, and so yeah, that's how I got interested mainly.
Nice. I think our current design lead, Yangchi's also part of Design Interactive, right?
Yeah,
she's really talented. So how long have you been doing design for?
Honestly, like since fall quarter this past year, because I switched to the design major last quarter in the spring. So yeah, I'm pretty new.
That's insane. You're so good at design and you just started? I'm jealous, dude. Oh my God.
It's been really fun to learn everything.
We have Daniel in the chat saying, OMG, hi, I'm so excited. Coding queens, yes. Yeah, right now we're just downloading Visual Studio Code, and I think, have you already downloaded the coding packet?
The one that from...
Yep, and just open it up, the zip file, once you've downloaded it. And then we can just start digging into the code. How's your pandemic online school experience been so far?
You know, it hasn't been that bad. I feel like there's just so much more time. Like definitely it's harder to manage time, but like just having that time where you're not like going places actually is honestly like helpful in many ways.
I completely agree with that. It's like a whole extra 2 or 3 hours every day where you're like, huh, I would normally be walking aimlessly around campus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's see if we're able to get it to go. Oh, wait, what was I saying earlier? Oh, yeah. So, what is your goal as a designer? What do you want to end up doing in like a year or in like 5 years?
I mean, hopefully I'm also planning on minoring in community development. And like my long-term goal is to like work in the nonprofit sector as a UI UX designer. Just like I feel like tech is so like necessarily in every like organization and things. So it's like helping, I don't know, for the community development through design seems really interesting.
Yeah, I was just talking to my friend a couple days ago about how like, well, technically it's not like that type of a community, but all the restaurants like in downtown Davis that had to kind of build their own platform to start offering, socially distanced services. A lot of them that have access to good engineers were able to get like a really good website running, and then the other ones are struggling so hard, and you can like barely like get the website to load itself and everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's really an important point that there are people out there that need access to tech, and it's going to completely, change and improve their experience as a business.
Yeah. Okay. So I just need to open this Tailwind starter file, right?
Yep. Once you've gotten that zip file open, what you can do on the Visual Studio Code page, there's like an option for open folder, and then you can just directly open that folder. You might, you might have to unzip it first. Shreya, tell us about your background in coding. My background in coding it's interesting. Sometimes it's kind of depressing, but I got into computer science in my first year, and I've never done it before, and I don't have any people in like computer science in my family or friends or anyone like that. So I had no clue what it actually was, and I just started it thinking, oh, that sounds like something really awesome where I can make a lot of money. And then I just like came to college, and I felt like the dumbest person in the world for like 4 years because everyone else was doing great and I didn't understand anything. I remember like in my first quarter in my first ECS class, I went to a professor's office hour to ask him a question. And I went with my friend, and he asked us a question in response to that question, and I didn't know how to answer it. And after that point, I just felt so dumb that I never asked a question in office hours again. But now I'm like slowly through bit projects starting to kind of realize that it's not that it is depressing. It's not that I don't like coding. It's that I don't like the way it was taught to me, where it was like super intimidating. So I'm just trying to build back my own experience. Is it unzipping? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I hate that kind of like there's like a lot of gatekeeping and a lot of like if you're not the best coder in the world and you don't belong here kind of vibe sometimes in tech. So I kind of want to change that, especially for people that are not like haven't been coding since they were 13,
Mm-hmm.
But that's what this is all for, so that we can kind of live stream and document and show off our process of learning so that other people that are also trying to learn can see like, hey, it's totally okay to not know the exact definition of what Tailwind CSS is and what it does when you first start using it, right? There's always going to be a little bit of learning and researching to do. So that's what we could do actually in the beginning. Let's go over to the Tailwind docs. Daniel's like, stop attacking me.
Just in a browser?
Yep, in a browser, just look up Tailwind. I think you might have the link in Slack as well, but it should be easy to find. Documentation for Tailwind is so easy to look through. Did you get a chance to look at this beforehand?
Yeah, I was looking through it. It seems really cool.
Yeah.
I was a little confused, like how. Wait, so like everything is literally just coded through CSS? Oh.
It's all coded through JavaScript, but basically it's kind of like CSS inside HTML inside JavaScript. So when you open up the code, have you used any of those languages before?
Yeah, I actually, so in high school, I took 2 years of coding, and I like all we did was HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. But it was like, I wasn't like, we were like teaching ourselves, and it wasn't like I don't know. I just don't feel like I learned a lot, and I feel like I was just like going through the motions.
Yeah, I feel that. That's literally me in the last 4 years of college, so I get it. But what you basically do is you have HTML, which is just like the text and all of the components that you're adding. And then you have CSS that you're editing through the styles of HTML. So you're saying, hey, for this particular header or for this particular paragraph, I want to change the style of the font. So you're doing that inside the actual component tag. And then you're putting all of that inside the JavaScript as well. And it's really easy to kind of like work through. Let's start with, actually what we could do is I can send you over the Figma file of camp.dev and we can okay, I'm sending it over to you on Slack. Alan, here. Did you receive the link? Okay, great.
Yeah, I just.
So yeah, I kind of want to show you something that's very similar between the actual website that we have the mock-up of that we're trying to build and the Tailwind website. So I think Daniel, when he was designing our website, he saw a component on the Tailwind website that you're going to notice is the same. And he was inspired by it. So that's what we're using on the new camp.dev one. And I kind of want to show you how, as a developer, you can use the developer console tools to understand like what other people have done when they've made a website and then try to implement that into your own. So have you ever like gone onto a website and then done the inspect element thing?
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing a lot of that.
Okay.
We'll be doing a lot of it on our own website just to see like if there's any bugs that we need to fix, how to fix them. But also if there's something on another website that you really, really like and you want to implement, figure out how they did it. Figma can take some time to load.
Yeah.
What classes are you taking this quarter?
I'm taking a lot of there's just like requirements and stuff. I'm taking Japanese.
So that's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. Is it hard?
Yeah, it's really fast. It's just like a lot of like really like we just learn so much. Like we learn something like so much new grammar every single day. So it's just like really intense. Yeah.
Wait, can you say something in Japanese?
I do not know what this is coming back.
How do you say hello in Japanese?
Like what? If you tell me something to say, I can say konnichiwa.
Yay! That's awesome. We have a fluent Japanese speaker over here.
Let me just.
Ooh, what's that for? The Flint water crisis. That's so cool.
Oh my god, no. I do not know why it's coming up. My computer's really just acting up.
Our computers do stuff when we least expect them and want them to, and just gotta.
We really don't want them to, yeah. Oh my god.
This is literally my computer every stream. It just decides to just, go into retirement. And I'm like, yo, wake up. Now is not the time, but it's okay. Let's see. What's the Figma page? Oh, the Figma page that's loading. Okay. In the meantime, I think I can pull up the page and kind of show you.
It's still loading.
That's okay.
I stop sharing.
Yeah, you can stop. Oh, you don't have to stop. Oh, yeah, you can stop sharing. Hopefully that makes it a little bit faster. But what I'm gonna do is, oh look, Daniel's on the actual Figma page as well. Let's go over to the Tailwind CSS component. And let me see if I can get open recent Tailwind. Path does not exist. Hello. I want to open a folder, new window. Oh, I should do this over here. Open folder, downloads or documents, maybe downloads, Tailwind. Okay, great. So the first thing that I was talking about earlier is like the inspect element stuff. So what we're going to do a lot of times is be like, hey, let's imagine Tailwind is the one website that we built. And there's some sort of bug happening with this component. What you want to do is kind of just like right click on it, inspect that element. And then it'll like give you the exact spot of the code that we're trying to kind of figure out. And you can hover over different parts and be like, oh yeah, let's say we wanted to increase the spacing between these two specific, like the text pieces. You'd be like, okay, this is the entire like first top half of the chunk. If you click the little arrow, let me see if I can pull this out a little bit. You can see the heading, you can see the page, and you can see like the button that actually is underneath this. So if we wanted to increase or decrease the size between this, we would have to like edit either the margins or the padding between it. And for a lot of stuff, Alan, like if you're not sure what type of code to use either, we can just directly Google it because that's what it is like to be a developer. You just Google everything.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So did I get this to open? I did. Awesome. So once you have your code running, if it is open on your computer, you can just create a new terminal. And for the stream today, let's do it on my computer, and then afterwards after the stream you can go into it your own. I'll send you the updated code. So I think the first thing we have to do is npm run dev. So that just kind of gets the website running. Before you do that on your computer, once you open the folder itself, you're going to want to run the npm install command just to let your computer know that you were trying to use npm. And do you know what npm is?
No.
That's okay. So we're using Node.js to build the website itself. Let me just go into everything. Node.js. It's a JavaScript runtime. So Node.js basically just helps us build a website without requiring a .html and a .css files. That's what we're doing, right? We're editing all of the code directly into .javascript files. So if we go into header, all of this is JavaScript, but we're like putting the HTML inside it. But if we didn't have Node, we would have to have like a separate index.html file to do all of this. So that's what Node is. And then NPM is a Node package manager, and a package and a library are similar in a way that they basically are a chunk of code that someone's written before that we're trying to get access to. So let's say someone's written like a bunch of functions that we want to use that kind of help us, so we don't have to like recreate the wheel from scratch, right? So we are using npm run dev. What is npm? Build amazing things. Yeah, it's open source, which means developers around the world can just like contribute to it, and they can make their own packages. Yeah, do you have any questions about all of this so far?
Not yet.
Okay, could you try explaining to me what npm is back?
Yeah, so basically it like connects to it's like a package manager. So and then the package is like similar to a library, and that is like what gets the code going, right?
And what's a library?
The library is like where the like data is stored.
What type of data? It's
sure.
okay if you want to Google it on the site.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Why can I not get this to? Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's just like a collection of resources rather than like data.
Exactly. And for code, a collection of resources just means a bunch of code. That was a terrible explanation. But yeah, once you see ready, started server on HTTP localhost 3000, what you can do is just copy that link, go there, and hopefully that should run the website. And when you're working on this in your own time, if you have any problems doing this, just let me know.
Okay.
This is great. This looks terrible. This is not a good representation of the website. I think last time when we were working on this, we were trying to get like the sidebar, the menu to work. But that's very complex. So for today, we're just going to start with something really simple. Let's go into what do I want you to do today? Utilities. So this particular component was built using the box.js file because it's a box. It's great naming convention. Do you see everything on my screen? Do you want me to do you want me to increase the size of the font or anything?
No, I can see.
Perfect. I'll increase it just a little bit in case it's too small on Twitch. But can you try to explain to me, like read through the code line by line and explain to me what you think is happening?
Okay. And so from the top, the import button from components /button. Okay, so from that, I'm just guessing that you're importing a button from somewhere where these like components are stored. I don't know what that like at component. Oh, it's like another file.
Yeah,
so
that's perfect.
With the components.
So we have a button.js, and this is just saying, you'll see later, but there's like a button component here. And we want to use it from the button.js file. So it's just saying, hey, by the way, I want to have access to that file.
Okay. And then the export default function. I'm not sure what the export means, but the function is like the box, which is probably, well, it's just stating the function of the box and what it's returning.
Yeah. So compare that to the import like code on the line over here. What do you think export would do?
So if you're importing what the component of a button is, you're exporting what that button is to the actual page?
Not what the button is, but the specific box. So for example, in button.js, we exported button, and that allowed us to import button over here. So in this case, we're exporting the box so that if another file wants to have access to it, they can.
Oh, so that's what's seen in the like inspect.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, cool. The return thing really just returns like all of the HTML that you're going to put in there. But yeah, let's start with line 5.
Okay. So the div class. So this is just defining like all of the like CSS for this div, which is like the positioning and the borders and all the colors.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's refer to it as the style instead of the class rather instead of the CSS.
Okay.
Because there's a slight difference between, let me see, difference between HTML classes and CSS. The difference between this class and an ID selector. ID is only used to identify one single element. Class can be used to identify more than one HTML element. What does that mean? HTML classes. Do you want to read this out?
Yeah, sure. So the class attribute is often used to point to a class name in a style sheet. It can also be used by a JavaScript to access and manipulate elements with the specific class name. So in this example, we have 3 div elements with the class attribute with the value of city. All 3 div elements will be styled equally according to the .city style definition in the head section. Oh, okay. So it's referring back to what's in the style heading.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So instead of working outwards in, let's work from the middle section outwards. So what do you think that this part does?
So for this is just stating like what the heading is, like what the text is going to be in the heading.
Yep. Okay, so let's say you wanted to edit some part of this. Let's say you wanted to change the size of the header itself. What would you do?
So within the class tag, you would change it to like you could change the pixels. I'm guessing not change the size. So like just somewhere in there, just make a space and do like px dash like 30 or something.
Px 30. Okay. So that didn't actually change anything.
Okay, maybe it's like size.
Size.
Okay.
Didn't change anything either. If you need to like run these commands through the documentation, you can do that as well. But let's try to understand what all of these things are already doing, because sometimes if you have like 2 different things at the same time, they might conflict.
Okay. Maybe it's controlled by text dash 2xl.
Okay. Let's just go into the docs and see what this does and just confirm if that's right or wrong. So text.2xl is font size, so you're correct. And this is the font size that it refers to. Which one do you want to change it to?
Do we say we wanted it smaller or larger?
Let's just do larger for this example.
Then let's just go to 4xl.
4xl. Let me pull this back over here. 4xl. Also, the good thing about this is that it reloads on its own. We don't actually have to reload it every time we make a change. So yeah, that was it. We changed that size. So I'm going to change this back to 2xl. And what if you wanted to change the color to a different, I don't know, any color?
You could just change the text dash and then you could change it to like black.
Awesome. Black, did that work? Yes. Sweet. Let's go over to the next div section. Which part do you think this refers to?
Let's see. So the heading is within the class. So I'd guess is it just the div that the heading text is in?
It is Logically, yes, that is correct. But on the website, what part of it does that? What do you think that refers to?
I feel like it's like what encompasses the button and the text together. Like it
This
can't really
box?
see. No, it's not the purple box because that's like the one. It's that's actually that it's in. So I just guess it's like a wrapper for the text and the button.
Okay. One way that we can check that. How is one way that we can check that?
By inspecting.
Yeah. So this looks ugly. I'm gonna pull this out and scroll down, and just hover over the code over here. So we're trying to look into not the button itself, but this div that's like right above the H2. So can you tell me like what the difference between these two divs is, which is these two divs over here?
Yeah. So the top one is like it's the purple box. Like that's what's coding for all of the like the it's kind of like everything else is in that purple box.
Mm-hmm.
And so the purple box is like controlling like all the corner radius and the stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then the next div is like, I'm guessing it's like the positioning of the button and the text within it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is correct. I think you're ready to start coding. So what we're going to do is let's go over to the Figma file. I think Daniel recommended, what did he say that we should do? I think he said that we can start by coding this part. Do you want to start by coding this into the website?
Sure.
Yeah. So it's super easy. We don't even have to worry about the placement of it on the website. We can just keep it left aligned for now and then move it afterwards. But if you had to create this entire component, where would you start?
Probably by just making an encompassing div, like, and setting the the positioning.
Okay. Do you want to do that inside the box component, or do you want to create a new component for this?
Probably create a whole new component.
Okay, let's do that. So do you know how we can create a new component?
My guess is just like left click and maybe the rename or like create a new,
Yeah, we can just create a new file. So I will do this inside utilities. What do we want to call this? This is schedule. Yes. Cool. Okay, you tell me what to write and I'll write it.
Okay, wait, can we go look at the box component?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I feel like we don't need to import a button. Okay, maybe, okay. Okay, let's start with like export default function schedule.
Export default. Oh, I can't write. Function and then schedule.
Yeah, and then open close brackets. I mean parentheses. Okay. And then return.
Mm-hmm. Return.
And then start a div class. I mean a div.
Okay. Cool. So we have a div class, div tag.
Okay. And then within that, just like defining the class.
Okay. The class over here. And how do we assign a class?
Is it equals and then quotations?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I don't know like what we need to put in there.
Okay, so where should we start? Like if we're going overall, we're just looking at this entire component. What should this div class kind of encompass? Should it just be this one? Should it be these two? Should it be all of them?
I think it should just be all of them.
All of them? Okay. I don't know what the right answer to this is, by the way. We'll just do things and see what happens.
Okay. Maybe like not define anything in the class yet, and then like create a heading within that.
Create a heading inside where?
In the other box, is everything in that one div?
Let's see. It's a good question.
Is that just because it needs to be like in that box though? Like maybe we don't need to put everything in it too.
For this case, we have like the text and this thing inside the box. Something I just realized, which I don't know if we have to or if we should do this. I think we should do this. I think we should have like a separate component for each of these since they're using like the same type of formatting, right? Layout.
Yeah. Wait, you said we should have a separate component?
Yeah. Okay. That way, if you have a separate one, then you don't have to like hard code any of this and you can just use the same component and change.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Cool. So in our schedule, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new component inside here. We'll leave schedule just chilling over here for some time. Let's create a new file called event.js, and that's going to be for every single individual event.
Okay.
And we'll copy the work that you did over here and just change this to event. Now, what should we do just for this one singular like thing?
Okay. Within the div, would you consider that a heading?
This one?
Yeah, that text.
You can. I don't know which specific heading we'll use for it, but we can always change the class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just like heading 3 or something.
Heading 3?
Yeah. And then within that, just put, oh, I don't know how to do it where you can change what the text is when you import it.
For now, let's just do this, and then we can figure out that on a different live stream.
Okay. Let's see. And then in another div, we can just put like a heading 2.
Okay. In another div over here, like this?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're having a problem.
Okay.
What I will say is that you need the entire return function to only have one div because a return function can only return one thing.
Okay.
But we can put a bunch of stuff inside that div afterwards.
Okay. Okay, then yeah, so then let's just add another heading there.
Add another heading? Okay, cool. What type of heading do you want this to be?
Maybe make that one heading 2.
Heading 2. Cool.
Wait, for the heading, like tags, can you assign classes to?
Yeah.
Okay. And then under that, just one more, maybe like a paragraph.
Yep.
With February 4th at 4 p.m. PST. Oh, just with the text.
Oh, with the text? So, yeah. Okay, cool. So let's put the text over here. I'm just going to add this in the second one.
Yeah.
Why is this red? Oh, am I supposed to put this in quotations? Nah. Hopefully it's okay.
Okay. And then we can start assigning classes to each of the headings. For the first one.
Before we get into that, I'd recommend just like testing it out and seeing what it looks like on the website first, seeing what we did. So right now there's nothing.
Okay.
Can you guess why there's nothing so far?
Well, we haven't even used the the component anywhere.
Okay, so how would we use the component?
So back in the schedule, we could just add that. So we need to import the event component.
Yes. We can import, how do we import stuff? Import button from here. So we're going to import event. From event. What am I missing over here?
Do you have from?
Okay, awesome. And then instead of putting it into schedule.js directly, let's just put the event tag inside the main page, which is index.html, if I can find where index.html is kept. Should be in pages. Yeah, so this is the main page and it has like all of the fun stuff.
Okay.
Cool. And these are the two boxes that are for these, and I'm gonna just add it over here. How should I add it?
Let's see. Just with schedule, like calling schedule.
Okay. Schedule. Okay, there was a problem. Why do you think there's a problem right now?
Schedule isn't defined.
Mm-hmm.
Did we import schedule to the page?
We didn't.
Okay, so we could have just called event.
Yeah. Do you want to try calling event, or do you want to try putting it somewhere first? Event? Okay.
Yeah, let's just
Okay. This is what we have. How's it looking?
Not great.
It's a start though. At least we got something.
Yeah.
So now, how do you want to change? I think you were talking about changing the classes for event, right?
Yeah. Let's see. I think for the heading 2, if we start a class tag, let me see, and add the sizing is text dash XL.
XL. Okay, cool. That did something.
Okay. Let's see. Wait, that didn't do anything, huh?
This did, and it increased the
size. It did? Okay. Okay, and then maybe, is there a function for making it like bold? Or is that just a heading tag?
Or is it something else?
I mean, the in the class tag. Is there wait, what would you call it? Is there a tag? Is
there a class? I would just say
a class. Okay.
What are you trying to do?
Like make it like the heading in the box is like, it looks bolded.
Bolded, yeah. Let's see what the Tailwind documentation says about bolding text.
Oh, use font dash bold.
Yeah. Where do you want me to put this?
Just right within the class.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. And then also for the heading 3, we can start a class.
For heading 3, yep.
And then also make that font bold. And then there's the font color.
Font color? Like that?
We can try that. Okay, and then dash gray.
Dash gray.
Okay, wait, it must be something else.
What do you want me to type into the document?
Font color.
Font color. That's why is color. I'm just gonna type color and see what. How about text color?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So it's just text dash gray, I guess.
Let's try it. Text dash gray. Why is that not working? Okay, that didn't work. Did I spell gray wrong?
Oh, is it with the E? Oh no, it's with the A.
That's weird. Let's try text white.
Okay.
Or something else. Okay, it just doesn't like the word gray. Or maybe this is, no, this is black. Oh, they don't have gray alone, but they always have gray with a number.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's go with text gray 50.
50? Where did it go? 50. Cool. Ooh.
Oh god. Okay. Maybe text gray. What were the options? Like 100. Let's go with like 300.
300. Yeah, I think that should look good. Is that like what we have over here? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Is there anything else we have to change over here?
I feel like that's good. There's one more thing, like the spacing between each of those headings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be within the div class.
What would we use for that?
Like padding. Maybe padding that, or yeah, we could just.
Let's see how they do padding. Okay, which one do you want to use? There's a lot of options.
Let's do P dash like 12.
P-12. Let me just pull this up before we make any changes.
Oh, okay, that made a padding around the entire thing. Maybe they have to be added actually in the classes of the things.
Okay. Should I do P-12 into this?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We only want the like horizontal padding. Oh, so padding. Oh wait, but PY. So it's PY. Maybe let's try PY3.
PY3. PY3. Okay, that's better. Yeah.
Is that a little too much?
It might be because I think this is top and bottom. So
okay.
maybe when we add it to this, it is, but we can try. Should I add it to the other ones?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna add a class here.
Okay, yeah. So maybe PY 1.5.
1.5.
I feel like it's still kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe like PY 0.25. Okay.
How's that?
I feel like that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let's try 0.5 and then hopefully that does it. We can mess around with it more later.
Okay.
So great, we got one of these components working. Are they? Yeah, that's great. How do you want to go about adding more of them?
Let's see. So that'd be back in the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
We imported that event. Can we just call that event?
Yeah, we can. So we can just do this. I think it needs a backslash over here. So if we call event, we might need to change index.js because if you remember, we were calling the event directly here. So what do we want to do to this?
Instead, just put schedule.
Yep. So I'm going to remove the event import. We don't need that. And let's see, we have event being called in schedule, so this should be the same. And it is, so that's good.
Okay, so maybe just copy and paste that 2 more times.
2 more times? Yay! Now there's another problem, which is the spacing between each of these. How do you want to fix that?
Okay, I'd say go back to the event one, and then change the padding to the overall div.
Okay.
Like py in the class.
Py?
Py like 1.5. I don't remember.
That's okay. That's okay. Let's see how much we want over here. We want a little bit more than 0.5, I think. And there's a lot of options. So what do you want to go for?
Yeah, let's start with 1.5 and see.
1.5. That's
Okay.
better.
Maybe a little bit more, like 2.5.
2.5.
Okay. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe 3.5.
Keep increasing it a little bit.
Okay, honestly, I feel like it's even more, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let's try like 5.5, and if that's too much. Whoa. Okay, it doesn't like 5.5. Is 4.5 much? Wow. That sucks. What's the maximum we can take right now? Is 4 okay? I think 4 is okay for the time.
Wait, how come it doesn't let you go higher than that?
That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure, but I just know that at some point, if the font size or any size type thing is too big, it just ends up breaking.
Okay.
But that's a really good question. Why does Tailwind break at large sizes? I don't know if that's something that it's just our problem, not break points. Maybe it's just our code. Maybe we just need to make it so that it can handle large sizes better.
Okay.
Not sure, but that's a good question to ask when you're streaming with Daniel next week. Great. What do we want to do next? We did all of these 3 things. We have something running over here.
Okay.
You want to try adding this part?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just back in the schedule. Yeah, just within that div, add another heading.
Which type?
Maybe H2.
H2.
And then within that, I guess just put live streams.
Live streams, awesome. And then?
And then a paragraph.
Okay. Paragraph, and I'm just gonna copy the text over here.
Yeah. Okay, and then within the class of the heading 2, text dash bold.
Mm-hmm.
And then also text dash to XL maybe.
Text dash to XL for the size, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, wait. Text dash bold didn't work, did it?
I wonder if it's like the order. No, maybe H2s don't like bolding, because I think it worked with H3, right?
Yeah.
That's so weird. Why isn't this working?
Was it font dash bold?
Maybe. Font dash bold. Oh yeah, you're right. So I'll change this back to H2.
Okay, and then maybe make it like 4XL.
4XL. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. That looks pretty good. In the paragraph text, we need to change the color to that gray again. I feel like it's the same gray.
Same gray. Which gray did we use in event? Text gray 300. So we want to use that over here. Class text gray 300. Okay. I feel like this is slightly difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe go down to like 200 and see. I mean 400.
400? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
This is actually starting to look pretty good.
Okay, I feel like we need to add some padding to both of the classes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do like py 1.5.
py 1.5. Cool. And then the same thing for the other one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. How's that?
Okay, wait, it was definitely way more. Go to like 5.
py 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see if I can do that. I just removed these. No. Okay.
Okay, that looks a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I feel like the text is a little bit bigger for the paragraph one, so maybe add text XL.
Text XL.
Yeah. Okay, is that too big?
I think that looks pretty good.
Okay. Honestly, is that spacing look pretty?
Yeah, spacing is not exactly the same. I think there's a little bit more spacing between these two.
Okay.
And a little less over here.
Let's see.
How do you add padding just to the bottom?
Yeah. Oh, you just add another like PB.
PB, and how much do we want to add? Ooh, that's
maybe like 1.5.
1.5. Oh shoot! Why did it go down?
What?
Why do you think this went down?
I have no idea. Did it like deduct from what? Oh, because we already have a PY.
Mm-hmm. I think it basically just overrides the previous command. So this was 5, but this is like, oh, okay, you had 5 in the bottom, but now you want to change that to 1.5.
Okay. So maybe instead of PY5, do PT5.
Okay.
Did that do anything?
No idea. Wait, let me remove this and see what P. It did a little bit.
Okay.
P versus PY. Yeah, change it a little bit. And then we have PP over here. Is that good enough?
No, I feel like there's too little space there. So, or is that what it looks like on the figure?
This is what it looks like on the thing.
Okay, yeah, there's definitely more space down there.
Okay, what do you want to change it to?
Maybe like 5.
5? Okay. Right now, this is what you had before, though. This is the 5.
Wait, was there more space underneath or above? Underneath, huh?
Underneath, yeah.
Okay, so maybe let's change B to like 7.
Yeah, I think that works. I think we can maybe turn this one down a little bit.
Okay.
So that it looks more exaggerated. And is our this text supposed to be larger? Or maybe live stream we can make slightly smaller. If we make this 3XL.
Okay.
Does that look okay?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's also that image or symbol.
Yeah. Do you want to try adding this image? I can download it.
Sure.
Let me get the logo export. Actually, let me rename this and call it live stream icon. And then I'm just gonna put the live stream icon in. All of our images are held in the public folder, so they're easy to access.
Okay.
So let's see if I can add it in here. Yeah, it's here. How do you want to add the live stream icon?
Let's see. Is there like an image tag?
There is.
Okay. Yeah, maybe do one of those within the div, just like above the heading.
Okay. What's the image tag? Do you know how to write it?
Is it IMG?
IMG.
Yeah. Okay. And then within the tag, I think you have to like call the or you like define it within instead of putting anything like where the text would be just like is it class equals and then that
it's not class. That's really close though. So it's the source.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And right now it's being held in just public and live stream coding. So let me see if I can just write live stream icon .png. What happens? Oh, cool.
Okay, awesome.
Nice. This is terrible. It's not next to each other. So what do we do with this?
It's definitely like the positioning. I think we have to make something in line. Or could we just group those two, like the heading and the image in another tag and change that class to inline?
That is like a new div?
Yeah.
We can try it and see what happens. I'm not sure what will happen either, but you want to put the heading and the image in here, right?
Yeah. And then in the class of the div, I don't know how you make them. Is it inline?
So for this, what you might need to do, Tailwind has a grid class that you can follow, and what you can do is just like put them into like 2 columns next to each other.
Okay.
So let's see how the grid documentation looks. Grid auto flow utilities for controlling how elements in a grid are auto placed. Okay, so do you want to try using this?
Yeah, sure.
How should I write it in here?
Yeah, I think just copy and paste that, but instead of 3, just do 1.
Okay, all of it? The entire thing?
Oh wait, is that setting a 3x3 grid?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe copy and paste that and then replace 3 with 2.
Mm-hmm. And then rows.
2. Oh wait, 1.
1 row. Yeah, I think we can just remove it. Let's see. Ugh,
Oh god.
but it's a start. We just got to make sure that these two. Should I remove the gap? Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that helped a lot. Okay.
So what do you think we can do to fix this?
I feel like we could edit the padding, but I feel like there's a different solution that would be like, why are they so far apart? Is there something that is defining how big the grid is?
Yeah, I think I think you're on the same, like along the same lines, where right now this entire section is available. So when you say 2 columns, it's like this is column 1 and this is column 2.
Okay.
What we want to do is restrict the actual grid space. So do you want to see if there's a way in which we can kind of not response, maybe customizing? No, we don't care about that. I want to like see if we can change the grid size. How elements are sized and placed. Call start, column and spanning.
Oh, could we create like, yeah, what is that like padding that, or is that just part of the grid? Like those?
This one?
Yeah.
Do you want to try doing one of these?
Sure.
Okay, so this is, okay, for the first one, number 1, it says call start 2 and span 4. So it's saying don't start on the first block, start on the second one, and span 4. In our case, we want to, what do we want to do?
That's just not activating some of them, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe that would not work then. Because we just have our 2, unless we made a bigger grid.
Oh, we have a question for you, which is, how is Tailwind so far? How's it going for someone with less experience in coding?
Honestly, I feel like it's pretty, or like it's easy in that they have all those like, how you can just search it up and like find out what the classes are and whatever.
Yeah. I feel like if we were doing like straight up CSS, this would take a lot longer to implement. Yeah. How about we call it a day? Because I think we've gone a little bit over time.
Okay.
This is an okay place to stop. It's not really a good place, but we can ask Daniel how to fix this next time. But yeah, how are you feeling about all of this?
I'm feeling good. Honestly, I think coding is fun. I mean, at least when I was doing it in high school and like right now, honestly, it's satisfying. Like,
it's nice to see like you type something and it just like appears in front of you on the website.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, I made that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see if we can get, I'll send you the updated version of the code. And then whenever we're streaming next, hopefully you can get a chance to also code it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. Thanks for anyone who joined. I think Daniel was like the only person in the chat today, but thanks, Daniel. We appreciate the support. And thanks, Alan, for joining me today. It was
of course. Sorry, my computer was acting up.
That's okay. Mine does that all the time too. But yeah, I'm going to end the broadcast now. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.